Welcome, Kasturians. Continuing with our chapter 2, that is Socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution, today we will discuss the October Revolution of 1917 and the events that took place after that October Revolution of 1917 that ultimately led to a civil war. So let's start. It was on 16th of October 1917 that Lenin persuaded the Petrograd Soviet. Petrograd Soviet, that is the Soviet which was formed as a result of February Revolution in Petrograd. As the conflicts between the provisional government formed after the February Revolution and the Bolshevik party, it grew. And when Lenin returned from exile, he saw that the war is not the right way and he was opposing the war. Now he saw and he felt that the time has come for Soviets to take over power, and then he put forward his April thesis, in which he made three demands. First, the land to be transferred to the peasants and the banks should be nationalized. This was his second demand. And third demand, and the most prominent one, was to bring a close to the war, or the war to be brought to a close. And at the same time he also argued that the Bolshevik party should be renamed as the Communist Party to show its new radical aims. And so in September, Lenin started discussing for an uprising against the government, and the Bolshevik supporters who were working in army and who were in Soviets and who were in factories, they were brought together. So on 16th October 1917, when Lenin persuaded the Petrograd Soviet and the Bolshevik Party, or the newly named Communist Party, to come to a socialist seizure of power and to agree to some common norms, a military revolutionary committee was appointed by the Soviets under the leadership of Leon Trotsky to organize and to design this seizure. It was on 24th October that Prime Minister Kerensky, when he sensed that trouble is approaching, he left the city. And why he left the city? He left the city to summon the troops. At dawn, the military men who were loyal to the government, they seized the buildings of the two Bolshevik newspapers, and the pro-government troops, they were sent to take over the telephone and telegraph offices and to protect the Winter Palace. But as a swift response, the Military Revolutionary Committee, they ordered the supporters to seize government offices and arrest the ministers. And it was later in the day that the ship Aurora, it shelled the Winter Palace, and Prime Minister Kerensky left the palace. Other vessels carrying ministers, they were sailed down the Neva river and they took over various military points. By nightfall, the city was under the committee's control. That is the Revolutionary Committee, a military revolutionary committee. It controlled the entire city, and the ministers, they have surrendered. All Russian Congress of the Soviets in Petrograd, the majority approved the Bolshevik action, and there was heavy fighting, especially in Moscow. But by December, the Bolsheviks, they controlled the Moscow Petrograd area, and that's how this revolt resulted in establishing the Bolshevik power in Russia. It was after this revolution that the most of the industries and the banks, they were nationalized as demanded by Lenin in his April thesis. The land was declared to be the social property, and the peasants, they were allowed to seize the land of the nobility. The use of old titles, it was completely banned, and new uniforms were designed for the army as well as the officials. And this revolution made the Bolsheviks to establish their control, and thus Russia became a one party state, and the trade unions, they were kept under the strict control of the party. As the Bolsheviks, they were against the private property, the government took over the ownership and management of the banks. The land and social property were seized, and in cities, the Bolsheviks, they enforced the partition of houses according to family requirements. The old titles of aristocracy were totally banned, and the Russian Communist Party was the new name given to the Bolshevik Party. And in November 1917, the elections were conducted for the Constituent Assembly by the Bolsheviks, but they lost their support. They failed to gain any support, and that's why in January 1918, the Bolsheviks, they were rejected by the assembly, and Lenin, he dismissed the assembly, and he thought that a Congress of Soviets was more democratic than an assembly with uncertain conditions. That's why, despite opposition from political allies or political associates, in March 1918, the Bolsheviks, they made peace with Germany at Vladivostok. The secret police, which was known as Cheka first, was later on renamed as OGPU and NKVD. It started punishing those who were found criticizing the Bolsheviks. And in fact, the Bolshevik party, it encouraged imposition of censorship on the experiments which were performed in art and architecture also. Now we will see the civil war. When the Bolsheviks, they ordered the redistribution of land, the Russian army, it began to break up. The soldiers, who were mostly peasants, they wished to go home for the redistribution, and they deserted. And it was the non-Bolshevik socialists, liberals and supporters of autocracy who started condemning and criticizing this Bolshevik uprising, and in this they moved to South Russia and organized a troop to fight the Bolsheviks, that is the Reds, and they got support of autocracy. French, American, British and Japanese troops, they joined them, and these two, that is the red means the Bolsheviks, and the greens, that is the socialist revolutionaries, and whites, that is the pro-czarists, they together fought a war, and all these fought a war with the Bolsheviks, and this war resulted in a civil war during which looting, banditry and famine became common throughout Russia. And the supporters of private property, who were basically whites, that is the pro-czarist people, they took harsh steps with peasants who had seized their lands, and by January 1920, the Bolsheviks, they controlled the most of the former Russian Empire. Why? Because of the support they got with the non-Russian nationalities and the Jadidists. Also, the Bolshevik colonists, they brutally massacred and killed thousands of local nationalists in the name of defending socialism. And that's why in the entire Russia, many people were confused about what the Bolsheviks were actually representing. Were they social or not? That's all we have in this video. The remaining part we will discuss in the coming videos. Thank you and have a nice day.